So one of the things I find hilarious and somewhat childish is the fact that they'll wait till I'm done filming to make a noise to get my attention. And you can tell they may be in the middle of the task they're doing is actually what they're doing, but they take advantage of that task to get my attention, to mentally torment, and it's not fun. That could have been one right there for all I know. Who knows? Can't be too careful. So I just found out that no one was looking at me, just for the record. Terrible slander going on right now. Usual. Night 2. This isn't Canada anymore. So, how can it be? Here's what you hear right now is people trying to get my attention again, and what I find weird, I find a number of things weird, is that these are people that, you know, they probably didn't think much about the Charter of Rights and Freedoms until they started watching me in the shower, etc., etc. So they didn't even know it existed. They didn't even, they didn't know it existed. Not out of anything, really, but they just didn't know about it. So they're taking advantage. They're fully living up their Charter of Rights based life, and these people, not that. These people believe that the Charter of Rights only applies to them, and that it doesn't apply to me. They think that I don't think they think that anything on a sort of a patriotic basis, but like I said, most of that stuff spawned from me in the first place, and I just saw another one. So yeah, it is what it is, and yeah, a lot of different things. You learn to while doing this, you learn different tactics, and as you do it, you learn different tactics, and so you almost have to worry about having a bad nervous reaction here. I mean, it's quite obvious they're talking because saying these things because I'm walking by them, but these are just normal people, and it's the nervous reaction caused by that is terrible, but usually I just pretend like it's not happening. Maybe if I keep talking, there won't be any slander. Everything is dressed. Everything they do, it's because I'm walking by. It's just more proof that this is really going on. So, anyway. Nothing. Let's see what happens. I've been, since I've gone in the last time, they've been torturing me, as they are torturing me now. Like I said, they can use the world around me to torture me, to play with my mind. I don't know how they do it. So if I think the letter C, then the first thing I'll see will have a letter C on it, or something like that. I just saw one on the ground. I'm not lying at all. I should have filmed it, but that's bad enough. And of course, my question is, people they see that, right? And they actually be willing to bet that people drive around me just because it's really happening. Like they choose to drive near me. I don't know, of course, but I have this weird feeling that they are. It doesn't aggravate me. It's just very weird. It's intrusive. Makes you feel like you're nothing. I basically feel like I'm nothing. The whole world is watching me. I'm like their jester, and in the real sense of the word, because like I mentioned before, that one guy who got out of his car and said it's a tragedy to watch. I'm sure it is, but then he had, why are you watching, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've now come to the conclusion that there are gang stalkers, but there are also non-gang stalkers, as they say, who will they will do gang stalker-like tactics to try and intimidate you, or because they know it pisses you off, or whatever. But really, I can't find the emotion behind it. But They're just a bunch of Nazis. I can explain why that is again. I keep doing it, but I mean, this is the worst violation of human rights in the history of the country. Besides some of the stuff that, there's obviously, in this new millennium, in the new millennium in this country, this is the worst violation of human rights ever. Which goes back to my point. If you're so patriotic about Canada, if what makes this country to you? Is it the fact that you can be a bully like that? Things like that, and you get into whole different things. People that they're all about human rights, and they work for human rights groups, things like that, are indeed participating in the most vile, I would almost say verging on pedophilic, because I can't think of a better word. It's not the right word at all, but human rights violation in Canada, and nothing bad that way, because there would have been, unfortunately. This is not good. This is not fun at all. Basically, as you can see, I was going to say the gratuity of this has caused me to just walk in a random direction, and anyway, lost what I was about to say again. But anyway, just keep going. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I remember what I was saying. What is this country to you? Is it the place where you can be like, okay, the human rights groups? A lot of human rights groups are probably taking part in this thing, and people who believe in human rights, and will talk about human rights, and if their human rights are being violated, it'd probably be the first thing that they brought up. I'm going the complete wrong way here. It'd probably be the first thing that they brought up. Who would, if this happened to them or something like this, and then they are quick to mess with me. One of the ways, not directly, I'm not, there's someone staring at me because this is really happening. They're not staring at me because it's not happening, which is extremely intrusive, and it's like, they're Nazis, because they, as I'm saying this, it goes back to the belief that they think they're doing something, their civil duty, when really you're a Nazi. You're just a Nazi. That's all you are. You're not. I mean, if I were to let out my opinion, I should say, is there a jail they put people in for violating human rights on this level? I wouldn't even particularly wish that on people. I just want it to end, to be honest. But that's not going to happen. So, and then it goes into the fact that they are making it obvious that, how do they make it obvious? Well, they harass you, they glare at you, all this stuff, and it wouldn't matter just in that, but okay, countering a nervous reaction wouldn't matter just on that, but what it does matter about is, one, those people are going to see you sleep, everything like that, like I keep mentioning. They can see through your eyes, hear through your ears. This isn't fun. This is not fun at all. They can read your mind. That's the big deal. So, anyway, here we have another thing, call them a noisemaker. I don't know. I haven't experienced anything yet. So, anyway, they had been sort of all over the place in this video, but oh well, no script. Since I went in both times, they've been, I guess you could say, torturing. They've been playing with my mind. There's one of them right there. They've been playing with my mind. The nervous reaction again. They've been playing with my mind since I went in not since. They've been playing with my mind every time I go in. Nothing's changed. They've been playing with my emotions. I've been going through some of the worst mental torture that anyone can go through. I always say, I'd say like a 95 to even 100% of what goes on in my head. It's not even, so it's why this helps actually, because if I wasn't talking to you, then it wouldn't be as good. It would be constant nervous reactions, nothing, and it still happens. So it's easy to watch this. Could be. Who knows? Who fucking knows? It's easy to watch this, and I laugh at it sometimes, things like that. When but when it's really happening, it's not good. It's not fun. So yeah, touch the door closed. So once again, why do you think the door is closed? Because I'm walking by. They wouldn't do it if I wasn't walking by. Well, they would, but they wouldn't, they wouldn't slam it or whatever they do. And you see another flag here. It really pisses me off once again, because they're saying how proud they are of their country. They love Canada or whatever, or it's just a prop to sell a vehicle. But either way, that was put up there because of me. If this wasn't happening, that wouldn't be put up there. And one of the things that's really funny to me is that, like I keep saying, these now they've put a billboard up. They put a billboard up, and they're playing with one of the parts of your mind that shouldn't be played with in public, especially. It's disgusting. But these ideals that they have about Canada, and the reason why they're waving a flag. I'm terrible slander right now. The worst of the worst. Okay, that just made it worse. So they put the flags up because of ideals that they've taken from me. Not that. Yeah, please God, not that. That they've taken from me, and have these ideals are taken from me. The reason why they wave the flag around, I don't know if it's because I watched Trailer Park Boys or something, these ideals. I just messed up my point there. And I also see another one. I see another perpetrator, but I'm being careful. So basically they take these ideals from me, like they do lots of other things. And you see this in every avenue. I mean, try to get that out of my head, but you see it everywhere. It's not just, in fact, it happens so much that this is the ego feeding thing again. It happens so much that you're kind of like, I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. But in that sense, first they're just copying me. They don't really know what they're doing. The reason why I would wave a flag, I'm thinking about something that I've atoned for, but the reason for waving a flag, in my opinion, would be because that stuff doesn't happen here. Because people can't do that here. If you were being watched, like I was filming, bad nervous reactions, and I have atoned for it. But if you were being watched like that by your, if you were, just use the example of the video with the bathroom, and then not to mention sleeping and everything else, you wouldn't be waving a flag. You'd be doing the opposite. So, well, anyway, it's just good to keep peaceful. No matter what type of nervous reaction you're having, it's good to keep peaceful. But anyway, that would be another part of it. But I'm not going to go on one of those. Basically, these people don't know. They don't even know what they're doing. I just see someone on their phone right now with a parked car, lights on, and then they just drove away when I said that. So this is obviously a gang stalker, and nothing bad in this direction, but you see the phones. This is what they do. So you think that people with phones are the gang stalkers, but you don't know. And that was definitely a gang stalker, by the way. So they're everywhere tonight. Yeah, basically, if you you don't know what you're doing, you might as well stick the flag up your ass, because you're not Canadian. You're a Nazi. You're you should be ashamed. Not you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of because 6 billion people are watching this. You should be ashamed of representing this country in that way. You know why? Because this country, you know why? Because 6 billion people are watching it, right? 6 billion people are watching it, and you're representing the country as a place where this is okay to do. Not to mention the Prime Minister and everyone else, and Rob Ford, the mayor of where I live. I can't believe he just watches and, doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. He sees me, he knows I close my eyes in the bathroom and doesn't care one bit. But, the thing, they don't know what they're doing. They're Nazis. They have no clue what they're doing. I think the point's been made. So, anyway, 48 minutes left until I have to go back and be tortured again. I was just thinking about this. Makes me wish I had hours and hours of footage, because I'd be out for hours and hours. I hate being in there. It's a torture chamber. This is a torture chamber. I'm in the torture chamber. My body's a torture chamber. My mind's a torture chamber. I don't have a mind, so there is no mind. I've had a bunch of activity since I've been out. As soon as I went out, I'm just being careful now. So it makes me think that. I don't know. But I have my reasons to believe that today this was not a gang stalker at all. So all these people can hear what I'm thinking. So just keep going and see if something. You hear these noises right now. It's because I'm walking by. So it's not aggravating or anything, but what it is those people are going to be watching me sleep, all this stuff. They comment on what I do and this and that and blah blah. It's like, just get out of my head. I'll say it again. This is the worst human rights violation since the new millennium started in the history of this country. Seriously. I emphasize that again because of what this country is supposed to be. A place where this stuff doesn't happen. A place where you don't have to worry about your neighbor watching you take a dump or watching you in the shower. I have to close my eyes in the shower or anything like that. And not to mention the harassment that you get from certain types of people. And you notice, it could just be that they're butthurt from what I'm listening to. Someone's staring at me now because they believe they're not a Nazi, and they, it's really happening. So that's it. Not much else to say. Nothing's really happening that stands out. There's another gang stalker. There's two. Could be three. One of them staring at me. These guys are staring at me. Why do you think they're staring at me? Because they're gang stalkers. Otherwise, why would they be staring? Yeah, it's not nice. I think it's kind of funny. You walk up and they're glaring at you, right? But the first thing they do is stare at you. This person just walked out on the block to have a look at me. There's another one. And then they look at you again when you acknowledge them. Not out of anything intimidatory, as we'll say, or anything like that, but you're just acknowledging that that they know, and that's about it. And then they act like they're not doing it. They act like, oh, I'm not doing anything, but they are. And when I was walking by first and he wanted to stare at me, it didn't matter then, did it? So there's, someone with a conscience would see that and feel bad, but sometimes your conscience in this situation can get the best of you. Now, does this affect the whole thing on a big scale? No. It's probably not even worth bringing it up. You have a new, it just happened again, so it is worth bringing up. Unfortunately, nothing bad, but it happens. You notice it. Why does it happen? Because it's really happening. It doesn't make you aggravated, but it's really happening. You acknowledge it. You don't instigate. You don't instigate. And you don't come at people aggressively or see, why is this guy staring at me right now? I would have just filmed him, but I believe I have a compassion for people that stops me from just walking up and filming them, which got the best of me today when I didn't use that part of my conscience. So I won't be doing that again. Yeah, you don't come at people aggressively in this situation. That causes a lot of turmoil, especially if you have a conscience. So you never know. More slandering. You might as well bring it up, because if I just walked by and said that, the stuff I just said in my head, it wouldn't be good at all. Once again, unfortunately, I've been stared at, and I'll have to emphasize, because of the fact that these people can hear what I'm thinking. There's nothing bad, but it's really happening. These people, it's just another person that's gonna be watching me sleep tonight. Oh, that's fucking great. Anyway, so 41 minutes. I should be able to. I don't think I'll be able to make it to the woods area, but see what happens. See if we have any pedestrians in the woods area. It's definitely a neighborhood watch. You see people come out when you do. You don't know what it means. You think maybe they just feel like walking. Maybe you're walking. It's like, oh, that's a good idea. I feel like walking. But the thing is, they go out of their way to walk by you, and then they have these looks on their face like it's not happening. But then why are you walking by me on purpose like that? I don't get it. So yeah, I'm having an epiphany in a sense right now, because in the large scale of things, do these small things really even matter? No, they don't matter. They really don't matter. In fact, I'm not thinking anything. The actual entity, force, Nazi force, that's, there's another one, has actually done this to me. That's not affecting them. It's if anything, what they have done to me. That's why I'm not filming them, because if I were to just film these people staring at me, all these people that are then affected, in a sense, you're letting them win, because what they did to me will affect other people, even though they're going out of their way to look at you like that, because to them it's just like, oh, I have my own mind, he's a piece of garbage, and haha, the thing I spit on the way to work, and this kind of crap, and they think, basically the point is that on what they're actually doing to me, what the actual button pressers, as I like to call them, are doing to me, is having a bad effect on people who might. Oh, there's another flag. Why do you think that's there? Nazis. See, they try to get my attention because who knows why. There's another one that that I bet all three of those signs. There are three signs there that probably are there because of something that I've done or said or something. But whoever the button presser is has now there's a negative impact on people who don't do anything, even though they go out of your way to for you to acknowledge that this is happening. This is a gang stalker right here. Now, why do you think he knew I was going to turn in this way, right? So he turned in this way, So little things like, why do they go out of their way? I don't know. It just begs the question. See, even more typical. Before I would have filmed, but maybe I should. You have to be careful because they hear it all, so they know what you're going to do before you do it. That's why you don't see any of this stuff like last night with I wish I could have got footage of me walking downtown, because there was siren harassment going on. I saw actually the whole basis, not blaming, but this is a fact. The whole basis of this happening is because I saw a police SUV parked like that. Another nervous reaction, so you can't look anywhere. I saw a police SUV just parked there with the lights on, and I knew why they were there. And they seem very narcissistic to believe that they're there just for you, but I know they are. And I'm gonna go. The point of that is, like I said, there's no blame. The point of that is that was the basis of, you see that, you know. So when you see it in other places, then you know. So I don't know if it's just how this car sounds, or you don't know. You don't know. Probably end up slandering, say something so terrible. Just you're out. You know. See what I like? Of course, I know I'm going to say this. See what I like to do is picture the word coward in my head, because they do it from afar, where you can't film them or anything. And they all, you know, I don't like to use this kind of rhetoric, but I have this theory. It's like, you know, some people with cars, and they do that to impress girls. You know, they blast their music, or, you know, sort of a primitive level mating dance type thing. And they're doing it to me, and these are males, so I'm not going to say anything else, but that's it. So I actually just said that because I wanted him to hear it. But then it goes back to, does it really affect anything on the large scale of things? No, it doesn't. It's almost like you shouldn't bring it up, because people hear that rhetoric and they blah blah blah, and they think things, and which also goes into the fact that, you know, at the end of the day, you can try to have your own mind and be constantly living in a state where you're trying to convince, because you know they're all watching, right? You're trying to convince them that you're normal, so you know they're watching. The humiliation, that's a good point, the humiliation of that. Not only are they watching, but you're you know, I heard from one TI on a YouTube thing, I think I just saw and I'm seeing a pedestrian perpetrator. Oh, someone walking a dog. Okay, well, that's perfect cover. But I definitely saw one before that, and I think this is another one here. That's definitely one, for sure. This car, see what they're doing? Driving slow. No. Don't let that fool you. See, they made it completely obvious there. I think they do it to make me forget what I was thinking. But so anyway, you can try to. I think that, you know what just happened there. I don't know. There's so much stuff I could say right now. First of all, they just played with my mind. They used the world around me. I'm slandering someone right now. They used the world around me to play with my mind, and unfortunately, what it causes is slander of the people that may be involved, and they don't even know it, which is crazy, because literally they know they're just doing whatever they're doing, but they're actually part of a mind torture Nazi remote neuromonitoring project, targeted individual thing that I think it just happened again, to be honest with you. I think they really are. So these people aren't good, and a lot of the people, because I believe that I've been broadcasted to, I've been broadcasted to the whole world. So a lot of these people, well, actually, you know what that goes into? The thing I was saying before about everyone has their own opinion, and you can try. Once you're already living in the state of complete, I don't even know how to. It's the worst. You might as well be dead. I don't know why I haven't, you know, but you're constantly convincing these people to. You're trying. You're because the stuff that's going through your head is so bad. But that's the whole thing, right? How can someone function when they can read your mind? There is no functioning the way thoughts work. And most of these people don't know anything. Not that I do. Don't know anything about how the brain works. So they just, and that the whole world does. So they just they assume, oh, he's thinking that or this or that. Another flag probably put up there in the not too in the recents. So they think, oh, that's what he's thinking, and this and that, and oh, okay, I don't know anything about how the brain works, so I don't consider the fact that if this happened to me, just on the basis of knowing what one person knew what you thought, you would go pretty crazy. The way thoughts work, at least not crazy, but you would have some pretty negative stuff on you. You know, you'd be slandering and all sorts of things. So, states of confusion, states of awkwardness, total loss of mind. Which the is another point. You can try to convince these. I see another person. They pull out their phone when I walk by. It's fucked up, man. These aren't. Maybe everyone's a gang stalker. So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, these people have their own mind. And what it is to have your own mind is, to me, it's such a. I mean, it's just. I can't even put it into words. So, at the end of the day, it's like there's no. You're completely screwed. You're a complete joke. You're. At the end of the day, there's almost no point in doing anything because these people all have their own mind. Every single one. They don't know shit about neurology. They don't know anything about the brain. So, it's weird. Very weird. I think everyone might be in on this. Like, literally everybody. So, I don't know. They always say there's all types of different gang stalkers. All types of different gang stalkers. So, I haven't got to that point where I fully accepted that yet. I see someone walking their dog, and I think they're just walking their dog. It looks normal. Then they pull out a phone, and you think, yeah, that's a gang stalker right there. So it's like I want to film him because I think he is, and I want to film him just because he is one. But I don't know if he is one. So if he's not one, then why would I film him? It's a fact. So, better to just keep going. They probably know I'm going down there, so they're following me. I'm just having a realization right now of how hopeless this is. It's like, you may as well just go home and live your life, right? But no, because they're going to be watching you in your home. That's not fun. Well, what it is the worst human rights violation in the history of this, of the new millennium. Possibly anywhere in the world. No, that's not true, but there's lots of bad things that happen in the world. But, most of those people had their own mind when it was happening to them, which I'm not, but it's true. So, look, I'm giving constant examples. One of the examples I have is, if they really want to get me, I'll give them my arms and my legs. But you know what the thing about that is? If you lose your arms and your legs, you're not. How do I put this? If they took my arms and legs away, I wouldn't be begging for them back, in a sense. They'd be gone. I have my own mind. It's almost like I would have to not have my own mind first to acknowledge how lucky I was. But you're not. If you have arms and legs and no mind, then you're suffering. But if you have a mind and you don't have 2 arms and 2 legs, you're not really suffering. So, it's not good. And then it goes back into the point I made before. All these people have their own mind. It's almost like, oh, so are you just going to ignore it? Well, see, the thing is, you can't ignore it because of the mental torture that you go through, which is almost done by yourself in a way. Part of it, because didn't mean to say that, but just upon knowing that they can see your thoughts and hear your thoughts. So until you they're gone, then there is no there's sanity. You have I have my basic sanity, but you don't have a mind. You can't. You have enough. I mean, as I'm saying this, I have enough mind to keep my peace about me and things like that, and have a conscience like a human being. But the thought patterns, what I think about everything is not. It's all. I say fake. It's all. It's not real. It's not my thoughts. So I don't know if they're zapping thoughts in my head. I don't know if they are. I don't know if they have to. I think it's just, depending on who you are, you might have more control over your mind. So you might not, but then it goes into things like, the phrasing and the stuff I say I'm doing it right now. The phrasing, the nervous reactions that I'm having, they can just pop out of your head in a millisecond. And before you know it, everyone, so that goes into, they don't know how the brain works. So, and then they judge you as if they do, and they don't even think about that. So, now we're in the woods area here. I think we're gonna try and do something here. Be interesting to see. And I always say to myself, the only thing that would make this possible to live with is if I was going to shack in the woods, like a cottage, whatever. Which actually they took my license away, and this is because I was stupid enough to get myself put in the psych ward, the psychosis zone, the crisis zone. They've taken away my license, so I can't get a license. I can't drive. So if you're if you're living in that situation, you need to drive. There's no taxis in the middle of the woods. So unless you never leave and you never buy groceries and you start illegally hunting, but that's just more of a comedic stuff like that. I think, as I'm thinking about this stuff, I'm thinking I should even, I'm basically dead. I don't, a lot of people watching me, they say they would probably, and these are good people, just, they're being broadcasted to. Who knows? There's an on and off button to any of this. They just hear me all the time, and they're living with that, which is really fucked up if you think about it. Because why would they be mad at me then? Shouldn't they be mad at the people who did this in the first place? I don't understand. Because I've heard things about like I'd be working and there'd be this songs playing, like I'm on the radio. Someone talking about the radio station guy. So I think someone put me on the radio, thinking that so they all thought that I was some radio host or something like that. And I've never had any, I guess it would be fun, but I've never done that. So there's all sorts of things that would, and that implies that they spread lies and rumors. Who knows what they told people about me? Who knows? I don't what I was going to say again. Always hear planes. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know if it's happening. I don't want to say it because I don't know if it's happening, but it happens in cars too. I just picture, to them it's just nothing. They just, it's nothing. It's nothing in their day. They do it and they forget about it. Actually, they don't forget about it. I think they think about me throughout most of the day, which is fucked up. Goes into it being they're broadcasted to. Yeah, and went back to what I was saying before, which is a lot of people would say, just ignore it. Might as well just ignore it. Get on with your life. We're dealing with it. There's no off button. But if there is an off button, then I would suggest pressing it. And then I would ask, why don't you press it? You think this is it because everyone else is, so I might as well? I don't know. In that case, that's not possible. Whenever it's not possible because of the mental torture. You don't have a mind. I want a mind. I want a mind again. You are your mind. Without your mind, you aren't you. What are you if you don't have a mind? You're not. You're a shell. You are. I might as well not even have a brain. There's no point in having a brain anymore. So, for some reason, I'm still kicking. I'm still keeping on for some reason, whatever that may be. So, and it goes into the main point, which is, they tell you, they haven't told me it, but it's kind of like, just get on with it, ignore it, might as well. You can't. It's impossible. The nervous reactions are too bad. The effect this has on your mind, just knowing that they can hear your thoughts is enough to make you go crazy. There's no go crazy. It's you can't. There's no you. There's nothing. There's nothing at all. There's nothing. basically. There's nothing. So, yeah, there is no hope in that sense, but for some reason I still, I keep going. I don't know why. Well, I have my reasons, but I don't want to. It's kind of like a. You don't believe it. Like I don't believe this. So it's all, I'm talking to this camera and it's all, but really this is happening. There's not, it kind of makes you want to just, there's not much you can do. And then they say, well, why don't you not be ashamed of this and that, or oh my goodness, why don't you just not be ashamed, just go about your life, who cares? Fine by me, it would feed my ego, but unfortunately, I'm having thoughts now I don't want in my head. So what was I gonna say? Shit. Oh, yeah, unfortunately they're reading my thoughts and they can see, no, not that, they can see my thoughts. I want it out of my head. This is good to get this on film. They can, what the hell, I forgot again, here we go. So yeah, there's no, the effect that has on your brain is too much. It's the effect that has on your brain stops you from being able to do that at all, because it's not that it's like, okay, I'm having this nervous reaction. People don't seem to really care much, even though they do. Most people, I think you can't control what people think. They have their own mind. A lot of people would probably rather believe that, like they know in the truth of it that it's not, and they'd rather believe it is because they don't like you, or they just really believe that it is, or whatever. But it's not like, okay, the slandering's happening, I'm gonna just live with it and it's all right, the slander's okay. No, you want it to be gone. You want your mind back. I miss my mind. I had a mind that, I had a great mind and it's gone now. So, I don't know, not that. Oh man, it's crazy. I remember I was on the bus, on the subway, coming home from the job I used to have, which they stole from me. There was one lady who said, at that point I didn't know they were reading my mind. So some people obviously knew how bad this was. Some people obviously know. I still had my mind at that point. I wasn't, I still had my mind. I was trying to just in that instant, I was trying to get back to that. Pointless. So I don't even know how so all this stuff, man. And she said, I never noticed how much I should have, not exactly in these words, but I never noticed how lucky I was to have life, to be alive, to have your own mind, to have life. And as I'm saying this, it's like, why am I even doing this? It's not going to do it. There's still, what this does to my family, it's totally heartbreaking. And you get into these thoughts and I don't know. And then it makes me think, they don't have any control over this. They just hear me all the time and there's no off button. And then whoever's doing this is just laughing. Of course that's the whole thing. They want to kill you. That's their ultimate thing. So, and whoever's doing this is the ones who are really benefiting from it. Meanwhile, everyone else is just watching, forming their own opinions and this and that. But they're not really, they don't actually have anything to do with it happening in the first place. I don't know. What I find weird is there's a lot of people that will talk about human rights and things like that, and Canadian human rights, and you have these Rick Mercers, and you have your all these people who talk about freedom and the Canadian this and Canadian that, and these same people are putting it's I don't even like, these same people are like, what the fuck did I do to you? These same people are like, what they'll do is they'll take a picture of themselves with one eye, because I said before when I was fighting this, I would call it the eye. And so now you see you know, there's a picture right by where I live of Eminem, and he's showing me the one eye, and he's got the horns symbol that a heavy metal fan would make at a concert or something, and it's on his head it's on his head like horns. So you know, that's just one example. You know, like what the hell are you interested in me for? You know, I mean, there's all sorts of things I could say. You know, so they you know, and that goes into, you end up being, you know, these people, these they're rich celebrities. They end up fucking with you. They become people. For some reason, these people are so affected by me. You would think that I mean absolutely nothing. You would think that I'm like a speck of dust to these people. But no, like they really are affected by what I do. I mean, I never thought that I'd be calling Jay-Z and these people and all this stuff, and like they make commercials and they make all this stuff to you know, to fuck with me, and it's I don't know what it is. I don't know why they have anything to do with it. And it goes back into the they show the one eyes and they make these commercials, you know, trying to make me jealous or copy what I do. Or, I mean, little do they know that I would never, if I had my own mind, I would never catch myself dead dancing around like that, for reasons that I won't say on the camera. But anyway, I mean, what is this? The fucking, anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. I mean, in fact, the only reason why that's a bad thing to do, because to tell you the truth, I don't care about that kind of stuff. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Like I said, I don't care about that kind of stuff, but it just gets me so the thing that they're reading my mind. This is really happening. It's, you know, when you really see it, it's almost like, holy shit, there really is a gang stalker. But yeah, you know, it's nothing. Yeah, they're flashing their lights, you know, just a Nazi. I mean, you're a Nazi. You believe the Charter of Rights applies to you and your basic human rights apply to you, but they don't apply to me. That means you're a Nazi. You are, you know, you're not Canadian, so it's good you're not flying a flag. But even though it wouldn't be any of my business really if you did, but it is my business when they're doing it to me in particular. So you have these one eyes, and you have these Rick Mercer types, and Rick Mercer is obviously a big advocate for human rights. You know, what is Rick Mercer doing? Trying to, you know, I mean, I don't want to sound like, you know, it's not out of homophobia, but there's obviously, you know, human rights, basic human rights in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Like, you think about, I don't mean to keep using this as a reference, but a place like North Korea where, you know, homosexual people don't exist, okay? That is what I'm talking about when you think about human rights. Here, if you try to make that happen, you end up going to jail, which is rightfully so, because who are you to say if they can live life?